Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another day, another week of 30 NSG. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Take-Two Interactive, hinting about when Grand Theft Auto 6 could be joining us in the gaming industry. Also, we're going to be talking about WrestleQuest Pro. I think it's just called WrestleQuest. I don't know if it's called WrestleQuest Pro. Is it WrestleQuest Pro? No, it's just called WrestleQuest. It's an RPG. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Assassin's Creed single-player game, but microtransactions. We're going to be talking about that as well. And then if we have time, we'll talk about what's happening with Minecraft a little bit with the content creators out there, and then also Baldur's Gate. So that's on today's show. If you like what we do here, please make sure you hit that like button down below. If you like more than that, hit the subscribe button. We do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning to about noon time. And then we also do a podcast Thursday nights. And we also have gameplay on Monday through Thursday evenings from 8 o'clock to about midnight or so. So, appreciate you. All right, so let's start. Let's start with the WrestleQuest that was supposed to come out yesterday, right? It was supposed to come out yesterday. But Pro Wrestling RPG WrestleQuest release date delayed at the last minute, like the last possible minute. I know they were sending out codes for people and whatnot, but the upcoming wrestling-themed RPG WrestleQuest gets delayed once again, this time on the very same day initially meant to launch. So, this is not, regardless, before I even read this, regardless of what the problem is, it doesn't look good that your game gets canceled or delayed on the day it was supposed to come out, right? Whatever the problems were. So the upcoming wrestling-themed RPG WrestleQuest has been delayed at the last minute. Pro wrestling and video game have always made for the great tag team of 2023, has seen several major grappling-related releases from multiple Squad Circle promotions, WWE 2K23 Evolved, and Wrestling Series Formula, with the new War Games match type and Evolved or Novel Showcase mode centered around John Cena, while AEW Fight Forever served as a throwback to the simpler WWF No Mercy days. Now, a third contender in 2023's growing Battle Royale wrestling games was announced last March, and this foregoing the unusual 3D simulation style most grappling titles in favor of a turn-based RPG format more in line with the old-school Final Fantasy games. Now, while WWE 2K23 and AEW Fight Forever focus on current wrestling landscape, WrestleQuest is instead drawn for the industry's past appearances by ring legends of Macho Man Randy Savage and Andre the Giant. These famous faces will help players as they embark on their own journey to become a champion of their own right, using powerful special moves and colorful tag team combos. Now, unfortunately, fans will have to wait just a little longer to step into the ring with WrestleQuest, as the game has just been delayed on the very day it was supposed to come out. This is worse than the day before, right? They did it like a week before it was supposed to launch. These guys did it on the day. Now, in a statement, the developer MegaCat Studios revealed that the delay is due to a technical glitch that can cause players to lose their save progress, and that the WrestleQuest will instead launch on August 22nd as a result. Now, the studio also made light of the slight setback on Twitter by posting a wrestling-related meme. So they put this up on Twitter, just saying that, you know, today they're dead. August 22nd is the thing. Now, this isn't the first time WrestleQuest release was pushed back. It was once set to launch in May before being pushed to August. Now, due to the new partnership deal causing unforeseen issues, in the meantime, fans have been getting small previews of WrestleQuest in action thanks to gameplay footage in the frantic turn-based combat and special steel cage match stipulations. Now, WrestleQuest looks like a colorful blend of grappling action, of retro RPG gameplay, and a striking contrast to the year's other major wrestling-themed release in WWE 2K23 and the AEW Fight Forever. While the latest delay might be a disappointment for shared fans of the gaming and pro wrestling, they can take comfort in knowing that the MegaCat Studio is devoted to ensuring that the game is as polished as it can be before it steps into the arena, which is good, right? If you're going to delay your game, that's fine if you're fixing it, as long as the game, when it comes out now on August 22nd, there's no other problems, right? It was supposed to come out in May. It got pushed to August, and now it got pushed from the beginning of August to the end of August. So hopefully, let's see. Let me see if I can find some gameplay for you guys. You guys can see the gameplay. This is from Kotaku. We're just gonna have the gameplay in the background. This is 18 minutes of gameplay. So it's an RPG, just like Final Fantasy set, but it's set with basically you making your own character to become a legend, like the Macho Man Randy Savage and Andre the Giant. How did I know it was going to be bring WrestleQuest? Come on, Soup. Stealth, what's going on? I was going to play it, but then I was like, I don't have time. And then it's like I got offered a code, and I was going to play it, but then I was just like, yeah, I don't have time. I don't have time for this, right? It looks fun. It looks interesting, right? It's definitely a different style of what it was. I'm not upset that the game's delayed. I feel bad. I feel bad for not us, the gamers. I feel sorry for a company that right at launch. I mean, I guess it's better to catch it before it goes out, but in this day and age, it's like if you're going to delay a game, first impressions are everything. And now if they delay it and because of the save files was getting corrupted or whatever, and you have to start the whole game over, hopefully they can fix that. No other glitches pop up and take center stage for it now. You know what I mean? It just feels weird. What's going on, Travis? I appreciate that. What's going on, boss? I don't know about this one. Look, if you're a wrestling fan, it almost reminds me of like River City Ransom. If you guys remember that game way back when, the way it is. But obviously it's an RPG. It's more of a story because it got delayed in May because it had problems, and now the day it was supposed to launch, it has problems because of the corrupt file. I just hope when it comes out that, especially because they're not a huge studio, you know what I mean? They're not a huge studio, so hopefully it comes out and it actually works. Yeah, this definitely reminds me of like the old school like River City Ransom type stuff. Go on, Jesse. So that's the first story. So if you're looking forward to WrestleQuest, you have to wait now to August 22nd before it comes out. The second story, we have other stories today. We have 5 stories, but we have 3 main ones that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Grand Theft Auto Take-Two Interactive hints that GTA 6 to launch in 2024. Now, I believe I have to go back and look. I'll have to go back and look, but I think I said October, November of 2024 was my prediction, right? But I'll have to go look for it. So Take-Two Interactive hints that GTA 6 to launch in 2024. Make that a little bigger. There we go. So Take-Two Interactive has once again reported the company's expected significant increase in revenue in fiscal year 25, suggesting that GTA 6 could release in 2024. Now, in the latest earnings call, Take-Two CEO and Chairman Strauss Zelnick said that Take-Two remains confident that the positioning of the business for significant inflection points into the financial 2025, which we believe will include the new record levels of operating performance. Now, they're in 2024 fiscal year right now, right? So it just started in, right? So Take-Two fiscal 25 year runs from 2024 to March of 2025. So once April hits, it goes into the 25. We're in the 24 season now, right, for their fiscal. So some news might just be buzzwords for investors. Take-Two is expecting a total of $8 billion in net bookings next year. $8 billion, right? You have to have something pretty significant coming out that you think is going to make you a crap ton of money. This means versus the current fiscal year predicted at $5.5 billion. So Take-Two is expecting to increase a $2.5 billion next year. So what could bring in $2.5 billion for them next year? So if the publisher's prediction is because of long-anticipated GTA 6, not only can it reveal the date But it also could expect GTA 6 to release somewhere between or around September or October next year. Judging by the past reveals and releases of Rockstar Games, the developer behind GTA 6, it's likely that the announcement of GTA 6 will be made around October of 2023, which is correct, right? And then it would have a year in advance, just like they've done with their other games as well. And we can't expect the game to launch around 12 months later. Now, it should also be noted that Rockstar Games and Take-Two Interactive have a tendency to delay their games as well. So in 2021, a reported VI source of YouTube channel GTA 6 was scheduled to release in 2024/2025. In 2022, a massive leak of GTA 6 material, including videos and images, confirm majority of the information. So look, smoke, fire. We'll see what happens when the actual thing comes out. But to get an additional, right, they're at $5.5 billion right now to stay on pace. Next year, they want a $2.5 billion increase. They're going to have some major game or maybe multiple games coming out. If it's not Grand Theft Auto 6, what could it be? So Grand Theft Auto, we're right on the cusp, right? We're right on the cusp of, obviously, this is the most anticipated game, I would say, in the decade, right? Not just, maybe you're not interested or maybe someone else is not interested, but Grand Theft Auto, when Rockstar comes out with games, people move their game. They make sure it's anywhere near when Grand Theft Auto launches. So I would assume that the industry itself is waiting for Rockstar to make an announcement going, anytime now, Rockstar, just let us know when you're coming out with Grand Theft Auto 6. So anything that we have planned can just move out of that month, right? The month. They don't want anything to do with this game when it comes out. Travis says, looks interesting, but there's too many games already coming out. For WrestleQuest, yeah. Soul says, hey, at least they're being honest and don't want to release a shit game. So you think, right? Because they've already delayed it once. Now they've delayed it twice. So hopefully there's no other things happening on the back end where it's going to have a bad outing when it comes out. WrestleQuest, never heard of it. It's just a small independent game. I believe it got funded on Kickstarter back in the day, if I'm not mistaken. Come on, Kogi. So Grand Theft Auto, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think Take-Two has another game or games? That's a lot of games that have to come out to make $2.5 billion for them. Or it could be just one. It could just be one Grand Theft Auto, right? I can't imagine. I don't know. What else does Take-Two have? Let me see what Take-Two has of games coming out. A big chunk of that 2.5 has to be Take-Two games. Upcoming Take-Two game. Every Take-Two game in development. All right. So we have between publishing Rockstar and private division, Take-Two is one of the largest and most renowned game publishers in the business. And the company is stabled, over 40 games and consoles. Okay. New Tales from the Borderlands. Tales from the Borderlands is coming in October. Okay. That's not going to be a big chunk of the $2.5 billion. Marvel's Midnight Sun, inspired by the early 90s. Wait a minute. Is this old? When does this article came out? Oh, this is from last year. Yeah, so that already came out. Marvel's Midnight Suns already came out. No. We need upcoming Take-Two games 2024. May 17, 2020. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what we got here. Where's the article? What do they got here? This is it? Favorite Take-Two franchises? No. The year too shabby. Either 16 total game releases are expected, including new IPs from Premier Studios. The company's earnings press release today, Take-Two revealed its plans for 3 immersive core offerings between April of this year and March of 2024. Those games include NBA 2K24, WWE 2K24. They're There's nothing. They have 16 games, but I don't see anything here. Awesome. What a great article. So they don't have any games coming out, Take-Two? Besides the traditional NBA and wrestling? No, that's what we just read. So, yeah. So, I'm going to assume that Grand Theft Auto 6 is that 2.5, even if they come out with Tales of the Borderlands, which comes out in October. Okay, that's going to be like a pimple on someone's ass. Okay, it's not going to make it that much money from that Tales of the Borderland type stuff. I hope 6 doesn't have those ugly ass Vice colors. Oh, you know it's going to be like that. That's Miami, boss. That's Miami. The vibrant like pastels and stuff like that. That is Miami. If they stay true to what they're making. Jesse says, well, Rockstar's fans is not happy because of the remaster or remake or just a port. I find it funny, right? Because people are making a big deal of like it coming to PlayStation and the Switch. Meanwhile, you could play Red Dead Redemption on the Series S and X. Like the port, you just take the disc, you put it in, and you play it. So I'm confused why you would go out right now and buy $50 for Red Dead Redemption when you can get a used copy for like $10, $14. It makes no sense. It makes no sense to me. I mean, this footage right here, I mean, this is just a made up fan thing, but I'm assuming that these colors right here is going to be like thematic to Miami. But we'll see. Right? There's no official actual artwork or anything for GTA 6 as of yet. Yeah, they don't have anything that we can see, Jesse, right? There's nothing major that's coming out that we know of. Was Red Dead Redemption 1 ever released on PlayStation? Yeah. Yeah. Red Dead Redemption. Let's see. Release date. The original release date was 2010. And on there, it came out for the PlayStation 3. Right? You could literally take the Xbox 360 version, put it into your Xbox, and play it. I don't think you could do that for the PlayStation 3. I don't know if you could take the PlayStation 3. And obviously the Switch, Rockstar games haven't really been on the Switch because not usually their brand. Right? So I just find it funny that Red Dead, you have to go buy it for $50 now to play it on a PlayStation. Is that the one where you play with John Marston and Jack later on? Yeah, that's the first one, but not really because it's Red Dead Revolver is the very first one. But then when they did Red Dead Redemption, that's the relaunching of it, right? And then when they did Red Dead Redemption, that technically is 2 because that Red Dead 1 takes place after Red Dead 2. Very confusing, but yeah, Red Dead Revolver is a completely different, but that's basically what it's based off of. Is it like a shooter or something? Red Dead Revolver? Yeah. So here, I'll bring it up and show you some gameplay of it. Yeah, I mean, it's just another cowboy western. It's actually pretty decent. This is what Red Dead Redemption was based off of. And here, let me. I think this is the full game, and you beat the whole game. You could beat the whole game in 2 hours and under 3 hours. It looks like. So it looks pretty good for what it is. Yeah, see, they still have the same type of systems in there. Get a little closer. Yeah, so when Red Dead, I can't believe that they charge $50 now so you can play it on the PlayStation. I mean, I guess it is what it is if people haven't played it, because it would be hard, I guess, to find a copy. I mean, let's look it up, right? Let's look it up. Would it be hard to find a copy of Red Dead Redemption? Get a copy right now, $17.29 off Amazon. Right, greatest hits PlayStation 3. Now I don't know if it's backwards compatible, but I do know you can play the Red Dead Redemption. You can play it in your Xbox S or X. That's why. Now the hard part is not coming out for where people are upset with Jesse's saying. It's not coming for PC, which I'm baffled by how they don't have it out for PC yet. They come out with the Switch and they came out for PlayStation, but they didn't bring it out for PC because Xbox has already had it. And people are pissed about that, Jesse. I'm disappointed because I said I would buy the remaster if it was a remastered, but now it's not even a remaster; it's just a port, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. I think I have. I don't even think I have the 360. I think I have a. I think I have a different version. Hold on, let me see. Oh, LA Noir, Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5. Must be still in the case. Yeah, I don't have it in here. I'm buying mine on the Switch. I'll take it on the go and forget Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 3 will be shown worldwide same day. Same day as what? Gaming Fire. Same day. Shown the same day when it comes out. Is that what you're talking about? For Red Dead? I have no interest in Call of Duty 3. Modern Warfare 3. All right, let's go to the third story. The Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Mirage leak shows return of controversial feature from modern games. A leak from a well-known Ubisoft data miner suggests that Assassin's Creed Mirage will retain one controversial feature from a modern Assassin's Creed game. Okay. Assassin's Creed Mirage will feature microtransactions as suggested by one newly emerged leak that revealed one such piece of paid content from upcoming game. While Ubisoft titles have long featured microtransactions, the company repeated claims that Assassin's Creed Mirage will return to the series' roots, made some fans hopeful that the game will be free of additional monetization attempts. Now, Ubisoft decision to embrace the games as a service business model continues to polarize the company's fandom to this date. However, the gaming giant managed to add nearly $1 billion to its annual revenue since the starting of aggressive push criteria of 2017. Now, many fans have been clamoring for another classic Assassin's Creed game that's not 100 hours long in the years that followed the Mirage final being announced in September of 2022 as a direct response to those pleas. Now, even though the Mirage is largely intended to tribute to the original Assassin's Creed, it will apparently still incorporate equipment of microtransactions that were prominently featured throughout the recent games in the franchise. That's according to established Ubisoft data miner Jonathan, who recently took to Twitter to share his image of just one such piece of paid content. According to the leak, Assassin's Creed Mirage will offer a free demon pack that includes a full set of armor and Basm mask of also his mount and flaming sword. So they won't show it in response because obviously it'll get taken down or whatnot, but you can actually go look that up on the internet. While the pricing is a newly leaked equipment, pack remains unclear. Its very extent suggests that Assassin's Creed Mirage might take a cue from the mainline installment in the series, adopting a premium in-game currency model. Some of the most memorable armor sets of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, such as the Black Raven, were also locked behind paywalls, priced up to 800 Helix credits, and the smallest Valhalla currency bundle containing 2,300 credits regularly retails for about $20, though it's also frequently treated to deep discounts. Now, in July of 2023, Reddit AMA creative director Stefan Bondun said that Ubisoft isn't planning to offer extensive post-launch support for DLCs for Assassin's Creed Mirage, and the company has so far confirmed the upcoming game will include an exclusive 40 Thieves quest as a pre-order bonus, as well as some Prince of Persia-inspired content bundled with the Deluxe and Collector's Edition. Now, the part of the series fandom is disliked microtransactions can take some solace in the fact that Assassin's Creed games have historically avoided aggressive monetization practices, at least relative to the main other Ubisoft games. Now, paid content in Valhalla and previous installments in the franchise has hence been limited to DLC, story missions, and equipment that's not necessarily better than what the fans were able to unlock through regular play. Now, all recent Assassin's Creed games also offer opportunity to earn limited quantities of Helix credits for free. So what do you guys think about the Assassin's Creed, about what the continuous of the microtransactions in a single-player game? I don't like microtransactions. You guys know where I stand with microtransactions. I don't buy them. I don't buy battle passes. If I beat a battle pass and I feel like there's stuff in there that I want, I will pay for it, but I never give them the money up front. I think they missed the ball again with this, right? With single-player games, sure, it brings in stuff. If you're making a live service game, if you want to make a live service Assassin's Creed, I think you can do that, and I think you can have a multiplayer aspect where it's a live service. Think Destiny or Division, but with Assassin's Creed. I think there's a market for that. But microtransactions in single-player games, that to me is like scummy, right? But what do you guys think? Jesse says 38 new COD Modern Warfare 3 is coming November 17th. They just dropped the official trailer of it today. Oh, I got you today. Yeah, I don't even care. What is it? Who's the bad guys? Do they actually name somebody, or is it just a organization inside the Come on, Dolphin. The microtransactions, there's a video that I saw the other day about a guy talking about microtransactions. It's actually pretty good. We might watch it. If they have a sexy outfit, I want to destroy it looking good. Yeah, but why would you pay for that, boss, when in a single-player game, they could just put it in the game for you to earn? You know what I mean? It's a single-player game. If you're playing PvP in a game and you want to destroy people looking good and like flash off what you like, you look badass, you're great, right? But that's the whole point, right? You can't earn it because they're putting it behind a paywall. Right? They're taking stuff out of the game so they could put it behind a paywall so you pay for it instead of just earning it in the game. In a live service game, like I said, I'm not okay with it, but I can justify it in that aspect. But in a single player game, I mean, that's just scummy. If hell, I'll take PlayStation, right? I'll take PlayStation with their first party title game with Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man's a single player game. right? And I know Assassin's Creed, not PlayStation, but I'm just taking a first-person game that everyone loves and does it right. Spider-Man does it right, right? You can play the game and earn the different cosmetics inside Spider-Man, right? Assassin's Creed doesn't do that. They literally take the cool outfits, the coolest looking outfits, and they put them behind a paywall, where Spider-Man puts all the outfits out there and then lets you earn them. It's annoying, but I'm all about the drip. And I feel like that, and I'm not calling you out, boss, but I think that's where the industry lies, right? There could be 100 people in chat that say, I hate it. And the one person's like, yeah, I'm going to buy it. And that's who they're going for, right? They're going for you, and they're never going to go back to the other direction because they're making extra money off something they didn't make off before. Shenanigans says the microtransaction store in Assassin's Creed Odyssey was atrocious. They even had weapons and XP boosts. Weapon skins or weapons? Like, were the weapons, did they have stats? I haven't played an Assassin's Creed in a long time, so do they have stats on those things, Shenanigans? Reed says in the past games, um, you could earn some of it. They had merchandise and also side quests to gain the stuff to buy them. But now they're just going to charge them, right? Now they're just going to charge them. Wow, so they have stats on the weapons. Yeah, see, I haven't played an Assassin's Creed in a while. But I didn't know they had stats. See, that to me, if the only way microtransactions will change in single player games is if no one buys them. But there's always going to be someone that buys them. Always. There's always going to be one person that buys them because they're just like, you know what, I got more money than time, and they're going to buy it. And then the developer looks at it and goes, well, we put this much time into the game, and if we want to put more stuff in the game, it's going to cost this much. And they're like, well, we just made an extra $100. We just made an extra $1,000. We just made an extra $1 million doing nothing, right? Travis says, I've never bought a microtransaction yet. In my opinion, they add nothing of value to the game, so I can ignore them. That's the way I feel, Travis. But for the people that are like, well, it's not a big deal, I'll pay for it because, like Boss says, and I'm not picking on Boss in any way, shape, or form, he says, I want to look cool. And my argument to that is, if you pay for it, it'll never get thrown back into the game. Remember when we played games and the cool armor was behind it? So you did like a mission, you did a quest line, and all of a sudden, or you killed someone and you found really cool gear, and you're like, this is really cool gear. That doesn't happen anymore, right? I mean, we had this conversation with Diablo just a couple of weeks ago with the stuff just kind of looks generic. Brain says, I think the stats on the buyable equipment started in Origins or Syndicate. It wasn't Syndicate, because I played Syndicate. I don't remember it on Syndicate. I think it was Origins. Reese says you can buy weapons, outfits, /skin, resources, and XP boosts. They started with Origins. Yeah, okay. So it was Origins. Boat skins, mount skins, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, and I just, where do you fall, boss? Like, obviously, if they have something cool, you're gonna buy it. But wouldn't you prefer? And I think I know you as a gamer because the way you talk about stuff and the way you grind for things. Wouldn't you prefer to get that stuff at the end? Like, when I say the end, like at the end of a mission, at the end of a boss fight, at the end of a quest line, right? You grind games, you put the time into the games. Wouldn't you rather get that really cool skin at a hard mission or a hard boss fight or a world boss or something like that? So then why would you purchase it? Because it's not in the game, right? So you're like, well, the really cool outfit's not in the game and I only can buy it. So that's why I buy it. So it turns out it's not the oh no, it's worse. It's a stomach bug. Oh, you got sick again, Travis? Yeah, there's no other way to get it. Right. So they cause the problem and they sell you the solution. Right? They put the best stuff behind a paywall, and the people that want the coolest stuff will pay for it. Brain says I'd rather earn it in game, but if it's a reasonable price microtransaction and it's something that fits my game fantasy, I'll buy it. Yeah, and I understand that, and I think that's why it'll never go away. I think that's why it'll never go away. If I can earn it like in-game money and then buy the cool stuff in the in-game stuff, I do that. Right. Like, that's the way I think it should be, right? Either it drops in the world or you earn currency in the game, in-game currency, and then purchase it, right? At least for a single-player game. Again, we're not talking about live service games here. We're talking about single-player game, right? If it's a single-player game, I don't think there should be microtransactions in it. If you want to sell a DLC pack separately, right? Not in the game. I'm talking like pre-order, stuff like that. Sure. Like if you want to buy something ahead of time and they give you an extra bonus, sure. But to sell in a microtransaction store to get stuff, that to me is a little scummy. Not a little scummy. It's very scummy, especially for a single-player game. The second you show me a paid skin and it looks cooler than the non-paid, I'll care, but I've never seen one. Never. Oh, no. Wait a minute. There's paid skins that look much better. Hell, go to Marvel's Avengers. Marvel's Avengers now, you don't have to pay for the stuff. But there's cooler skins that you had to buy. You couldn't get them anywhere else. Reasonable isn't a $20 Fortnite skin or a $28 Diablo skin, right? Boss says, like, I really get into the Assassin's Creed games. I have like all my characters in my head. I know that they're already characters, but add like my own role play. If I see an outfit that screams at me and looks cool. No, I get it. I just hate that it's a single player game. Reese says they're smart. They give you a certain amount of microtransactions currency, enough to buy a weapon, small resource pack, and get you interested. Oh, well, yeah, that's like a drug dealer, right? That's like a drug dealer, Reese. Boss says, even in Avengers, my Iron Man had to look good. I had multiple outfits and a lot of Iron Man skins, but that was an online game. That was an online game. That's a live service game, and that's a completely different conversation. It's still I still disagree with microtransactions in games in general, but I can justify it in a live service game, right? Because if you're constantly keeping a game up and you're not charging a monthly fee, like World of Warcraft when it came out, or any MMO, any MMO that was out there before they had microtransactions in there, the microtransaction was paying for the game every single month, right? And I'm okay with that, because if you're playing a game to keep that game running and always adding new stuff, then yeah, great. The monthly fee. But then they double dip. Then they have the monthly fee. Then they have the pay for more space. Then they have pay for boosters. Then they paid for mounts. Then they pay for skins, right? Single player games should not have microtransactions. It should be all for one in the price of the game. If it's $60, then give me $60 worth of content. If it's $70, give me $70 worth of content. Stop taking stuff out of the game and then selling it separately. If it's a live service game and if they add content or not add content like Marvel's Avengers, but they keep adding cosmetic skins and then people want to buy those skins, cool. But that's not a single player game. Says I never played an Assassin's Creed game again since Black Flag. Tried Valhalla, still not satisfied with with Creed anymore. I wanted to play Valhalla really bad because I really like the Viking like culture type stuff, but I just never got into it because it's almost intimidating because it's too big. Too big. Well, here's the next thing, boss. Once you get, right? Once you get that thing, most people like stop playing, right? Like you get the outfit from Uber Lilith, right? Or the mount. And then people after that just kind of stop playing because that's like the end goal. They get it and they're like, we're done. So you don't really like go on and play anymore with the cool looking outfit. Because once you beat it with that character's done, right? You're gonna make a new character. And that's another thing I can debate with Diablo. They're selling you outfits and stuff, but every season you're making a new character. So you buy an outfit for your druid, and then next season you're playing a barbarian. Travis says, "Hell, I got every character in Mass Effect 3 multiplayer without spending a cent. If I can do that, I can ignore microtransactions completely. Until you can't, Travis. Until you can't, because they make it grindier and grindier. You know what I mean? And I think that's what the Transformers will be. There'll be this balance of how long do you play the game before you can get currency or resources to make the next Transformer. Boss says, I agree, but they don't care what to think, so they're going to keep those cool outfits behind paywalls. Sure. And I think that's it. I think the conversation that we have, you have to make people aware of what's happening, and the only way to change it is people not buying it. But you're always going to have that new tissue. My example of pulling a tissue out, and there's a brand new tissue there, where they blow your nose with you, right? I'm the developer. I picked up the tissue, which is the consumer. I blow my nose with you, and I throw you away because you stop paying money. And there's another fresh tissue there, right? When the tissue box runs out, that's when they just shut down the servers. When there's not enough people to continuously pay for the microtransactions, the live service games shut down, and we're seeing more and more of that every year. Koki says, I hope they have multiple multiplayer in the new Assassin's Creed. And was the most unique multiplayer experiences ever, and cool cosmetics were progression based. Purchase with in-game currency. Really? So wait a minute. Let me read that again. So the Assassin's Creed, that was one of the most unique multiplayer experiences ever, and cool cosmetics were progression based. Purchase with in-game currency. In what AC game? Are you talking about Assassin's Creed, or are you talking about Armor Core? I don't know. I'm asking. Because now we have an AC, which yesterday someone put AC. I thought you were talking about Assassin's Creed and people were talking about Armor Core. PvP is the only thing really keeping it alive for me. I'm being honest. Even that flame is slowly getting smaller. Yeah, for Diablo, yeah. Did you guys see the video that Asmongold is solely keeping Diablo alive with viewership on Twitch? Travis says, I mean, ignoring Valhalla just fine, but I see your point. Enough Valhalla sucked to me for a different reason than most people. Reese says they also set up where the vendor that you do side quests for to earn microtransaction currency rotates in a single piece to complete the set to tempt you to buy the rest. Oh, for God's sakes. That sucks. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I played that one. I don't remember the earning stuff in-game currency, though. It's been a long time, though. I played Brotherhood. I played 3. I played up until Syndicate. I think this is the last one. Which is the one? I always get this confused. That was the one in France, right? Syndicate was the one in France. Yeah, I think this is why Suicide Squad is in trouble. I think Suicide Squad's going back to the board to try to fix the game, but they don't have anything going for them. I think they were trying to push on the cosmetics, and I think they have an issue. They're gonna have the same problems that Marvel's Avengers had. Syndicate was London. Right. Unity was France. Which one came out first, Unity or Syndicate? What happened with Suicide Squad? Well, it delayed its release date. It was supposed to come out already, and we don't know a new release date. Syndicate was first. Okay, so then I didn't play Unity. I played Syndicate. Syndicate was the last one. Yeah, Suicide Squad was supposed to come out. It was supposed to be out already, right? They buffed it up. It was supposed to come out, and then all of a sudden now it went delayed, and they haven't said anything about Suicide Squad since they delayed it. And I think it was supposed to be the exact same business model as Marvel's Avengers. And it could be the exact same business model as long as they keep supporting the game after it comes out. I think they could have something. But the gameplay, it looked fun, but I can see why people didn't like it because it looked too simplistic, I guess. But I think they were doubling down on microtransactions in that game. Brain says if they could fix the drop-in co-op from Unity, that would have been great in current gen AC games. I just wish that they would stop putting microtransactions in single-player games. Make it like Spider-Man, man. This is why Spider-Man is such a good game. Not only does it have a great story, great combat, okay, great mechanics, but it's a complete game because you can earn everything in the game. And then when they came out with the DLC for Spider-Man, people are okay buying the DLC because they had a really good experience with the first game and you earn. And then there's like a checklist, right? There's a checklist of what you can earn. See, this is the problem with modern day games, okay? You could put outfits behind stuff, and that's like a checklist of making people play your game to complete your game. So you make a game from point A to point Z, and you put stuff all behind, and people get all those things, so they finish the game. They're like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this magic ability. I'm going to get this sword. I'm going to get this axe. I'm going to get this. And they complete your game. 1, because the story's good. 2, because the action's good. 3, because they can earn stuff in the game. They don't feel like they're wasting their time. But modern day gaming's like, yeah, we're not going to do any of that. You get nothing. You get generic close piece 1 here, because you're gonna swap that out real fast. We're not gonna put a transmog system in it, and we're gonna put microtransactions because this thing is gonna look better than the other things that you get, and that's shitty. That's shitty. This program I use to bring you guys chat up on screen, it messes up or it doesn't reboot after a while. So frustrating. All right. There it is. Reese says, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, microtransactions started in Unity. That'd be me misremembering. I don't know. I didn't play it, so. Travis says, in my opinion, if your DLC is anything other than story-driven stuff, you messed up. New cosmetics in it, sure, but it better have a story, or I don't care. Yeah, I haven't seen a thing yet where DLC comes out and they're selling like other things along with it. I don't think so. Like the DLC is usually pretty good. At least in Spider-Man it was. I don't think they sold like if you get the DLC, there's like extra like buy extra stuff. They might have thrown in extra costumes. They did, like when a new movie came out, they threw a free cosmetic in there for the movie. You know what I mean? Like that's good stuff. That's good. That's good on the fan base, right? Farmer says at least Assassin's Creed games drop as a complete single player experience, not as a busted live service garbage. Well, the conversation we're having, Farmer, is that Assassin's Creed putting microtransactions in a single player game again. So regardless if it comes out as a live service game piece of garbage or a single played game that has microtransactions, to me that's still garbage, right? Just make your game a single player game and put all the stuff in the game. Oh no, I hear you, Travis. I was just trying to look back at an example of a game that didn't charge microtransactions and had DLC. You just pay for the DLC and they add more stuff to it. And then I'm trying to think of a game that added DLC and then charged more for more cosmetics that came in with that DLC. I think the live service games that I could think of, they were just constantly upgrading cosmetics all day long, and they would just drop DLC. I mean, look at Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto. I remember when Grand Theft Auto, Anthem did it. Fallout 76 did it. The game was broke, buggy. Online was broken, buggy when Grand Theft Auto first came out. You couldn't even log in. Anthem, you couldn't log in. But you know what? It wasn't broke. The shark cards. You know what wasn't broken, Anthem? The microtransaction store. You know what wasn't broken, Fallout 76? The microtransaction store. That shit works flawlessly, no matter what the problems are, right? The microtransaction store works flawlessly. Hell, look at the game that just recently, the brawler game, the multiverses, the fighting multiverses game. It's supposed to be a free fighting game that they charged a players pack or founders pack. People bought a whole bunch of stuff. They charged microtransactions for the alpha, open beta, whatever the hell you want to call it, early access. People paid for the microtransactions, and then they said, "Oh, we're shutting down the game until launch next year." Like what? That's an all new low, right? People bought a founders pack and they bought microtransactions because they had seasons, they had microtransactions, and then they just shut the game down for a year, right? If that's not a warning sign of where the industry is going, I don't know what is. That's how you do it. Like, think about that. Think about what Multiverses did. Yeah, it's coming back, maybe, right? We don't know if it's coming back. Like, people literally bought a founders pack for a game that wasn't out yet. They paid for season passes. They paid for microtransactions for cosmetics for the characters they can no longer play before the game even launched. And people are like, yeah, it's fine. Oh, I had so much fun. Like, what are we talking about, people? That's straight up theft. I hope someone filed a lawsuit. It's coming back, though. Coming back, Travis. They haven't launched yet. Right? Yeah, the quote, I got my money's worth type of thing. Yeah, it's ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous to me. I got my money's worth. The reality is now that games released busted AF, full of microtransactions, cut the content for DLC, if not necessarily a fan of microtransactions, but at least AC is not busted. I bet you I could look up Farmer, right? Because I love is blind, right? Love is blind. I guarantee you I can look up Assassin's Creed bug glitches and find just as many as any other game out there. Right? But we like to forget games that we love, there's no flaws with them. There was plenty of times I played an Assassin's Creed game, okay, where I would fall through the map multiple times. Don't tell me Syndicate wasn't broke and buggy, because it was anything but complete. Like, Syndicate and Unity were, like, bad. Sure. I'm going to say Starfield was a good game as long as we're talking about things that would never happen. How about a sequel to Gun? And then Kylo says they just claimed it was free to pay, a free to play game, and those people choose to buy the microtransactions, and I bet in their fine print it covers them completely. Oh, for sure, for multiverses. But the fact still stands that the game was out there. They charged money for cosmetics and season passes and then literally shut the game down. It didn't actually launch, and yet they still did it. Fallout buggy, Skyrim buggy? Yeah. I don't know what defense you're saying. I'm saying that games are broken buggy when they come out and they're charging microtransactions. I'm not standing up for Fallout or Skyrim. They're all buggy. Hence why it's called Bugthesda. Reese says I still can't play Unity because of the bugs. I was just stating a fact that you said at least Assassin's Creed games don't come out buggy and garbage. And I'm saying your love is blind because they 100% came out. Yeah. Assassin's Creed came out Anthem buggy. Assassin's Creed came out Bethesda buggy. Yeah. I remember one time, I forget what Assassin's Creed it was. It had to be, I think it was Brotherhood. I got out of the Artemis, and the game crashed, and I couldn't play the game again. Like, it wouldn't load in. And I would load back into that thing, and when I got into the Artemis again, it broke again. Trouble is, Salty says, players continue to support it by buying it into the industry won't change. They just see the people pay for it, and that's the bottom line. Right. And look, there's a fine line. Again, we're still talking about Assassin's Creed single-player game charging microtransactions. Now we're moving into someone says Assassin's Creed, at least it's not a buggy game. And then we make claims that there was bugginess in Assassin's Creed games. I didn't have the same experience. Sure. I played Fallout 76. We played it live on stream, right? We never had a problem. Never had a problem with Fallout 76 at launch, right? Never had a problem with Fallout 76 till hour 82. And then the whole foundation just crumbled, literally on air. Okay. We got into our armor, and then I couldn't get out of the armor. I was stuck in my set on my armor suit. Okay. Which then I couldn't interact with any of the tables. Okay. And then I got so injured in my outfit, I lost a leg, like the armor broke. Okay. And my guy was invisible inside. So we were walking around, and it looked like my guy was hopping on one leg because you couldn't see the character anymore in the thing. I couldn't interact with the things, so I couldn't craft. I couldn't get out to repair. I couldn't do anything. Okay. So to say that because your game didn't have any problems, that there was no problems, right? Exhibit A. Exhibit B, Cyberpunk 2077. People that bought it on PC had no problems. People that bought it on Xbox Series S, X, and PlayStation 5 had a lot of problems. And the people that bought it on the lower systems below that, I don't know why you would do that to yourself, because you said if you watched it here, I told you for 2 years prior to Cyberpunk, don't buy it for the old system. Okay? But those people had problems. So much so that PlayStation said, this shit is whacked. We're taking it off the marketplace. Okay? So to say, that's Exhibit B, then let's talk about Battlefield 2042. Okay? So buggy and glitchy, okay, that people just said, I'm done. They paid $125 for that game and still wanted to play it, and it was broken buggy, right? There's games left and right that are broken buggy that people don't have problems with, but tens of thousands of other people do, right? And again, I say blind, love is blind, because you might go, and might look past it. For instance, Jedi Survivor, okay? Lono can't play Jedi Survivor. He still has issues. I played it. I didn't have issues. But then he said, you're maybe not noticing the issues. And I said, all right, fair enough. I went back and started playing again and started looking. And I would see a little hiccup here and there. Nothing that would like off-put me personally. But I have to submit and go, you know what? There is a little bit of a problem. So if someone has that, they might be having other problems as well, right? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that anecdotally, my experience was different. I had zero problems with a single AC game. Oh, I get you, Farmer. And again, I played 82 hours of Fallout 76, thousands of videos on YouTube saying the game is absolute shit, falling through maps, doing a whole bunch of stuff. 82 hours, nothing, no problems. I had one mission on the PC for Cyberpunk not work. Reload was fine. Was shady to hide last gen performance from reviewers they knew, because they knew if they showed that it would ruin it would halt everything, because if that comes out that it was bad, then everyone's going to assume that everything was bad. To be fair, Sony only pulled Cyberpunk because of the refund debacle. Well, no. They pulled it because it was broke on the PlayStation 4. Reese. They pulled it off of PlayStation 4, but PlayStation 5, they just took it off the store. They didn't want any more people buying it because they don't want to, yes, they don't want to give refunds, but they also don't want to be associated with something that's broke and buggy. Because as the developers of PlayStation, they're supposed to okay games that were good enough to put up on the store so they could sell it to their customers. How much would you want to bet that Starfield at hour 20 everyone sees what they're trying to hide? I don't want to disagree, because I do agree at a certain point that games now, Travis, are front loaded, right? Like, I'm trying to think of an analogy. Like, there's people that build like kit cars that look like immaculate. So when you look at a car, it looks like a sports car, but underneath it's like a Volkswagen engine. Do you know what I mean? That's like really shitty, but they just want the persona of it looks great on the outside, right? Same people that put like makeup on, they put a whole bunch of makeup on to make themselves look really good, but really underneath they're just a terrible person and shit, but they look pretty, right? Type of thing. They're lying to themselves and to everybody else. I think at a point now, video game companies are fluffing the front part. They're caking on that makeup to make their game. If it's there's people that do research and they know that the average person plays a game between like 6 and 8 hours, right? And what percentage of that drop off after 8 hours, and what percentage drops off after like 15 hours, and what drops off after 30 hours, and whatnot. So there's these stats, right? Like Bungie did a thing to see how addictive a game could be, right? There's these studies that happen with companies behind the scenes, and they know how long people make a game for and how good it could be up to a certain point before it's a big drop off. And then after that, there could be a problem, right? Hence why a lot of people complained about the end game once they get to the end game. So if it takes you 20 hours to get to the end game, but the story of itself was fine, and we can take two examples here. Anthem's early game wasn't bad. Okay, early game was fine, right? The problem with Anthem was the end game. There was no rewards after, right? So the end was broke. But they already got your money, and now to argue that, well, the game is broken, buggy. Well, the early on game was fine. It was the tail end of the game that was broke. Same with Marvel's Avengers. Marvel's Avengers, the campaign was fine, except my version broke at hour 14, and we had to wait 2 weeks for them to put a bug in to fix it because I couldn't get to the boss fight, right? But it was fine up until a certain point, and then it breaks off. And if we go back and look at the stats of how many people completed the game, I think it's like 60%. So 40% of the population didn't even finish the campaign of them. Might even be less than that. So I think I think you do have a point that most people will find a problem and it starts to break down. But then you also have to look at it when they built the game, what was worked on the most? The beginning of the game. Because that's the start of the game. So the start of the game was worked on the most. It had the most eyeballs on it. And then they move on to the next section, and they move on to the next section. So, yeah, I think there will be a part of a game that people are like, this is not as flushed out as the other things. Kylo says, I had Cyberpunk on PC at launch as well. The game wasn't too buggy for me, but something just felt off. You think Starfield isn't going to launch Broken Mess? You're delusional? Oh, I'm not delusional. I've been saying that on GXG. I don't think, when I say I don't think it's going to be like Fallout 76, I believe it's not going to be as bad as Fallout 76. I can't imagine, right? And I'll stand corrected. I can't imagine a company doing a launch like Fallout 76, okay, and then doing it again with their next major game. And again, it's not the same studio that did Fallout 76, right? It's a completely different studio. The last time Todd Howard worked on a game that was Todd Howard's game was Fallout 4. Okay, Fallout 4 was buggy, but I don't think it's going to be a complete shambles of what people are wanting to expect it to be. But I do think it'll come out in a state that the story will be good, but there'll be massive problems with Starfield in patches that they will be fixed over 6 or 12 months. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I don't know why my short break thing. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to figure out why this is. There it is. Sorry about that. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. We have the lawn guys here. They're cutting the lawn. I gotta move a bunch of stuff because now we have I have a water line going across for the duck house. It's a temporary one, and I don't want the lawn guy to like shred my hose not looking at it. You know what I mean? And it's like 102 degrees or something today. So I can't afford the guy to run over the duck's watering device because then I'm fucked. All right, let's see what you guys are saying over here. Let's see. Standing game of average for me. Instead of being good, look, TSA. If you think that Starfield isn't going to be broke, we already read that. It'll be good in 6 to 12 months. You're right, 30. It will be worse than 76. I don't think so. I never said it'll be worse than 76. Launch Halo Infinite. What's to stop them from crapping out Starfield exactly like Fallout 76? Well, one, let's be realistic here, Farmer. Fallout 76 was done in like 12 months, right? And there's like stories out there that didn't have enough people, and they made Fallout 76 just so they can get help with Starfield. And ZeniMax wouldn't hire anybody or wouldn't let Todd hire anybody, so he made another game, put people on it, took them off, and moved them over to Starfield, right? Those are actual stories that we read years ago. 2, Microsoft wasn't involved in Starfield for 6 of the 8 years in development, right? Didn't have anything to do with it for 6 of the 8 years that was in development. So comparing 343 Halo, that was a studio from Microsoft, to Bethesda ZeniMax is unfair because ZeniMax and Bethesda were working on their game for 6 years before they got purchased, and Halo was with Microsoft the entire time, and they fucked that up from the start with 343. So yeah, I don't think you can make the comparison of 343 with Bethesda. That's just me. What do we say? It doesn't matter if it launches because of Game Pass? That's correct, Makoki. Because if the game comes out, right? If Bethesda wasn't with Microsoft and it wasn't on Game Pass and it came out broke in buggy state, then we would have a completely different conversation, because then you'd be like, what a bummer that this game came out and people spent $70, right? Because no one would be getting it for $10. Everyone would be paying full price for this. But now, because Microsoft has Bethesda underneath their belt, and if the game does come out broke and buggy, if the game comes out in the exact same format as a Skyrim or Fallout 3 or Fallout 4, where it has bugs, but not like tremendous bad gameplay or anything like that, then we would be in a completely different boat than if it was like Fallout 76 coming out, if it was purchased, okay? But now, because it's on Game Pass, it doesn't really matter if it's like the states of Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 or Skyrim, or if it was 76, because now majority of the population, right, doesn't matter. Because if you didn't pay $70, right, if you pay $70 as a human being for a game now, and shit game, you're going to be upset because you spent your hard-earned money that you went to your job and worked hours for, and then saved up so you could buy yourself a game, right? But if you didn't buy anything and you paid $10, okay, for Game Pass for the month, and now Starfield comes out, you're not spending $70, and then you're like, hey, I'll play the game. Now your expectations are either super low or super high, whatever, right? But most people's expectations are, well, I only paid $10, so I really don't care if I play 10 minutes or if I play 100 hours. It doesn't really matter, right? And that's what Game Pass does. That's what anything does. If you buy a game right now full price, You're like, it was all right. But then if you go to GameStop and buy it for $20, you're like, oh, it's totally worth it for $20. It's the same thing. Right? That's the same thing. Jason says Game Pass is a quality killer, but not for all. I want to make that clear, Jason. Not for all games, right? Tunic is on there. It's an independent developer. Okay. Like Tunic is very good quality. I think it's a great game, right? So I don't think you can say that Game Pass is a quality killer. It might be a quality killer for AAA games. Not all games, but I'm going to say, yeah, it does kill quality, but not for all games. You think Starfield will play at 60 frames per second on the Samsung TV? No. Sarge says this game could come out on fire. It doesn't matter. At this point, Microsoft has dropped more bombs than not. The delays tell me Microsoft is either drastically changing or even rebooting Starfield. What are you talking about? Rebooting Starfield? How do you reboot something? How do you... You gotta go more into that, Farmer. What do you mean that it's rebooting Starfield? I'm paying $0 and I get a free Game Pass with my new PC. There you go. I get what you're saying, but shit games devalue Game Pass? Sure, a game can be shitty on Game Pass. Right, Farmer? But at the same time, there is games on Game Pass that are phenomenal for what you're paying for $10. Right? There are. If you're going to say that there's shit games on Game Pass, you have to admit that there's also good games on Game Pass. Regardless if they're older games or not AAA games, there's still fantastic games on Game Pass, which is still worth the price of Game Pass. I'm going to buy it because I hate using the Xbox app. So far, AAA stuff has been bad. For Game Pass, Jason? As a complete Xbox fanboy, Game Pass holds very little value to me. But there's not a lot of value there. It's literally $10. It's $10. So then don't get Game Pass. But do you see what I'm saying? We're talking about microtransactions before with Assassin's Creed, and now we're talking about Game Pass, right? If you don't want to pay Game Pass, then don't get Game Pass. Right? If you don't want to support Xbox with their first-party titles, then don't buy their first-party titles. Because you don't. You can just get Game Pass. Right? If you just want to get AAA standard fantastic games, then go for third-party games. You're still going to have the same problems. AAA games coming out broke, buggy, unfinished. So you're saying all AAA games, Jason, have all been bad for Game Pass? All AAA games? Or are you saying Xbox first-party titles? That's what I want to know. Are you saying all AAA games that are on Game Pass, or are you saying first-party titles, AAA games? Farmer is saying Bungie Can D1 rebooted it and completely and dumped what it got are to us in about a year. Okay, so you're saying that they worked on Starfield for 13 months or 2 years and then rebooted it and then did 13 months and now they're releasing it. That's what you're saying. The difference between Destiny and Starfield is Destiny is a live service game and Starfield is a single player game. So I don't know if you can make that comparison between them, even if they did reboot it. Right? They rebooted Destiny because it was too linear. As someone who's getting AC Mirage, I don't care it has microtransactions or not. Sure, but from a business standpoint, Travis, they look at it and go, oh, good, we're selling a game with microtransactions in it. It's going to be a smaller game, and that's a win for them, right? Because there's less content. They've said that Mirage is going to be a smaller game than previous AC games, right? I'll say first party, but with regards to third party, it's been nothing too great either. All right, so let me look up. Let's look up. I want to push on that a little bit more, Jason. Are you talking about brand new AAA games or AAA games that were in the past that are now on Game Pass? Let's see what we got here. This is my game. Where do I go to look up? I mean, I guess I could turn my Xbox on. That's EA Play. This something for everyone. All right, I'm trying to find what's on the list here. So give me a second. All right. So this is the list of games that are on Game Pass right now, right? Game Pass. This is just console games, not PC games, right? This is just console games, not PC games. So you're saying in this list of the value of Game Pass right now, AAA games, there's no value. A brand new AAA stuff that gets on there day one. Okay, so you're honing in on just then Xbox's AAA first party title games. All right, Forza Horizon 5, kind of, that's one game. I mean, you might not like racing games, but that was a complete game and a fun game when it came out. All right, let's see if we can find another game. Right, because there's plenty of AAA games on here that are older, right? That are on here that you could play. Would Lies of P be considered? But that's not first party, right? That's not first party. That's third party. I mean, I guess I could agree with you, right? First party games, no. But there's third party AAA games that come out here that are fantastic. I mean, Forza Horizon 5 was a day one launch title and still play that game. So it's a AAA title on Game Pass. Right. That, Kyle, is exactly what I said, right? The one game that we can think of. I can't say Sea of Thieves is not a AAA game, and also it wasn't done when it came out. It wasn't complete when it came out. Bethesda's building Starfield. Daddy Microsoft buys Bethesda. Microsoft sees Starfield's progress, freaks out, and gets hands-on. That's a pretty big claim, though, Farmer, right? And by all means, you can claim that. We had a conversation yesterday. I don't know if you were here. Microsoft gets shit, and some people in chat were saying, well, both things are true. Microsoft stays hands off with the video game. The game comes out broke, and people are pissed off at Microsoft because it didn't get involved, right? And then Microsoft gets hands on, a game comes out and it's broke, and then people get pissed off because Microsoft put their hands on it and the game sucked. So which one would you prefer? Microsoft getting in or Microsoft not getting hands on? Hands on, hands off. Which one would you rather have? But both the outcome is Microsoft fucked it up. Right? It's a lose-lose situation for people that look at Microsoft in that light. Yeah, it's the legit one game, Kylo. Yeah. I mean, Gears 6 was a pretty good game, right? I'm speculating. I'm worried about Starfield. Delay after delay. I mean, it only got delayed once, didn't it? It got delayed from last November to now. Did it get delayed more than that? If we're pulling scenarios out of our asses now, Microsoft buys Bethesda and sees how amazing Starfield looks, sends engineers to optimize it for their ecosystem. Right, Reese? But that's exactly what I'm saying, right? Like doom and gloom, right? And this is coming from me that shits on a lot of stuff, right? The doom and gloom saying that if Microsoft puts their hands on things, shit's broke. And if they don't put their hands on stuff, shit's broke. So you, the person that is an Xbox fan waiting for a game to come out, what would you rather them do? Hands off or hands on? Either way, your outcome is that it's going to be broke if Microsoft touches it. So then why are you on Microsoft? Right? The answer is if you think the outcome, if you think the outcome is doom and gloom regardless if Microsoft touches it or doesn't touch it, then you probably shouldn't be on playing games on Xbox. You should probably go to PlayStation. And this is where most PlayStation fans come in and are like, well, Microsoft, whatever they do is bad. And that's fine. If you're not a Microsoft person, then don't play Microsoft games. Your problem's solved. People claim it got delayed twice since they put it spring 2023 as a hold. After it didn't get delayed twice. They didn't give a date. It just got delayed from November to this year. The speculations, isn't this amazing? When it got delayed in November, I said it's probably coming out in October of 2023, right? That was my speculation. Why are people speculating that it got delayed twice? In my head, it got delayed till the following year. Right? I mean, you could speculate it got delayed 17 times. You'd be like, well, it got delayed before we saw the first date of 11/11, and then it got delayed another 5 times after because it was supposed to come out in January, then it was supposed to come out in February, then it was supposed to come out in March, then it was supposed to come out in April, then it was supposed to come out in May, then it was supposed to come out in June. It's like, what are we talking about? Ask your boy Lono, he says it's been delayed twice as well due to that reason. You can't say a delay if you didn't give a date. Now, they did say the first half of 2023. Shit happens. I say I start my stream at 10 o'clock and I start at 10:40. I mean, just the way it is. And I'm never late, by the way. I always start on time. unless otherwise and posted on my stream. I am never late. I'm always early. I'm always early. Right? But you can't say something's delayed, right? You can't say something's delayed if they never actually gave a date. Me and Sarge preach about this all the time. I say, shut up until you have something to say, right? They have a date, and now even dates are not even direct. Look at the first story we had today. WrestleQuest was supposed to come out yesterday or today, whatever it was, right? And they literally postponed it 20 days or 18 days because they have to fix it. Right? They have to fix it. That was delayed the day it was supposed to come out because of glitches, right? Shit happens, right? Shit happens. Okay? But to say that Starfield got delayed twice since it was supposed to come out, I literally said when they got delayed in November, right? Even leading up to November, Sarge every day or every week on the podcast, I said, it's coming out 11/11. He's like, we'll see, right? And I'm like, well, we're getting closer. It's coming out 11/11. Sarge is like, we'll see, right? I'll believe it when I see it. And then it got delayed, and Sarge's like, see? Right? So you can make any claims you want, but you can't say with proof that it was delayed a second time. There was no actual date. Man, delays are good nowadays. Let them polish it. Delays are good up to a certain point, Tony. Right? Delays are good up to a certain point. If you delay a game and then you delay it again, and then you delay it again, and then it comes out and it's still broken, buggy, then they probably should have delayed it until a further date until they were done with the game. That's the problem. There's games that get delayed and come out and they work well. There's games that come out, more games that come out delayed, and they come out and they're still broken, buggy, and it takes another 6, 8, 12, 18 months to fix. Other devs need to take a page from Capcom's book. When they show you a game for the first time, they always have a release date. Sure, let's take Exoprimal for that example. Exoprimal is not a complete game, but they sure hit that deadline. Exoprimal will be a complete game 12 months from now. They hit that deadline. They got Exoprimal out. Come on, today. I don't mind delays, but just stop giving a time frame if you're going to be delayed multiple times. Exactly, and that's my point. Right. Suicide Squad delays have not been good. Exactly right. Now, that game, I can agree with Farmer, is doing a Destiny switch around, right? They're like, hold up, this game's not going to do very well. We need to make some changes. If that is always online, if that's making it where it's a not a always, well, one, not a always online game, maybe not a streaming service game, maybe not a live service game. They are definitely changing Suicide Squad up. I don't subscribe to delays. Can be good. Games should keep their mouth shut until the stuff is ready to launch. 100%. 100%. Right? Then let's take a good example of saying nothing and then releasing a game. Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush came out, okay, which is not a AAA game, okay. It would be considered like a AA game, okay. Came out, gorgeous. Nobody gives credit where credit's due there. They're just like, yeah, because that's what you expect. You expect the game to come out and to be good, flawless, no problems, right? I'm trying to go through this list to see a first-party title game. and I can't find one. Of the parameters that Jason said, which was AAA games day one. Forza is the only game I can look at and see that it came out where it wasn't in dire need of any attention. Here's the conversation that I would like to have about Starfield right now, right? Last week, people were freaking out because Starfield wasn't getting advertisement, right? And I said on Friday's show, the podcast with Lono, I said that it would start up like this week. And sure enough, it started up this week. Okay. People are freaking out because someone could actually say, well, it's because everyone was bringing it up. That's why they're doing advertisement. I'll assure you that's not how advertising works. Okay. Like, they had this planned ahead of time because of what it was. They already had the big push and promotion when they showed the 45-minute June breakdown of the game. That was the hype that you needed. Okay. Now we're a month out, literally a month out. And now they started to do advertisement where they're showing you the Samsung TV. They're starting to commercials, the guerrilla marketing of people posting stuff in Twitter that it looks like it looks like it's not associated with them, but it is associated with them because that's what they do. They pay influencers to post stuff and whatnot. Then you have the people that are just doing it pure out of love because they're fans of Bethesda, or they want to be on the Bethesda radar. So if something happens, they get called because they were supporting them and whatnot. Don't think for 1 second someone doesn't do anything for some other reasons. Okay. So he says, I can't go that far, as in two different studios that are art styles in the Starfield showcase in June looked very good for the Creation Engine game. Got me hype. Yeah, I think Starfield looks good. A lot of people are giving shit because it's the 30 frames per second, right? Which the artist said that's what I'm bringing out, 30 frames per second. Right now, you can make the choice, right? You can make the choice right now. I don't want to buy the game because it's 30 frames per second. He didn't hide it from you. He didn't do a Gotham Knights the last week before it came out and said there's no 60 frames per second mode. He literally said in an interview 2 years prior that we're shooting for 30 frames. And now that we know it's 30 frames, the people that are upset that it's 30 frames just don't buy it, right? And here's the thing. They don't need you to buy the game. They don't need you to buy the game. They just want you to get Game Pass. So whether or not you like Starfield or not, no matter if you think 30 frames or 60 frames is better, you're going to sit there. If you own Game Pass, you're going to see it come out. People are going to start playing it. People are going to start talking about it on social media and Facebook and wherever else, TikTok and whatnot. And people that have Game Pass are going to go, I'll give it a shot, right? And the people that don't have Game Pass will be like, what is it, $10? Right? And that's what's going to happen. This is why Starfield is going to be an unprecedented set a standard here, because it's not like other games that come out at full price at $70. You're going to get the people that pay $70 for the game because it looks cool, they like space, they like Bethesda, whatever it is, right? They're fans of it. Then you're going to have the people that have it, not interested in it, and they're like, I'll give it a shot, right? There's people that literally gave Baldur's Gate 3 a shot that had no interest in Baldur's Gate 3 just because of the hype of what it was. Now, Baldur's Gate 3 is a very good game. Not for everybody, because not everyone likes D&D, right? They'll punch their friends in the face because they're a D&D fan in real life, but now they're playing D&D on Baldur's Gate 3 because everyone else says it's cool. And they're like, oh yeah, it's pretty cool, right? This is me not talking shit about Baldur's Gate 3. I'm playing it myself, and I'm actually really enjoying it, okay? But that is the thing that's happening, right? You don't have to put that $70 out. If you already have Game Pass, you're going to give it a shot. You are going to give it a shot. Why not? And if you don't have Game Pass, it's a small entry fee to get in. I mean, you can play uncapped, I think, on PC, right? I don't think so. I don't think so, Tony. Microsoft has backed themselves into a corner if Starfield launches and it's not stellar. No. You guys are still on the old way of thinking. It has nothing to do with it anymore. They don't care if the game sells. They're not selling Starfield. Starfield is just yet another piece on Game Pass. Just like Phil Spencer said that Halo Infinite is not going to make or break the franchise, Starfield is not going to make or break Microsoft. It's not. I paid for $35 upgrade for Starfield to play early. I got it for Xbox. I wonder, since cross-save is a thing between Xbox and PC, if the DLC and early access is both as well. I hope so. But there's a difference because you can only play it on the Windows, right? You're not playing it on Steam, so it'd be a little different. I'm not sure how that works, Kylo. Streamers and YouTubers will push it more, of course, because even if the streamer is not, let's say, paid, because I'm not being paid by them, right? You got to go with the flow, right? You're not going to go upstream and go, well, everyone's playing Starfield. I'm not going to play Starfield, right? You're going to be like, Starfield's hot. I'm going to play Starfield, see if I can get some buzz around it. That's just the way it was. That's just the way it works. The other big old nothing burger was people acting like Microsoft putting Game Pass on TV was some big shift in strategy. PlayStation did it back in like 2014, 2015 on their television sets. Now it's just more prominent now. I'll be playing both off of Game Pass on Xbox and PC, so not sure if I just got the expansion pass thing for Xbox. So not sure if that carries over. I think it does carry over. It'll carry over, though, for the Windows version, right? Because if you have it, then you have it for Xbox and PC, but the Windows version, not the Steam version. I'm assuming that's what it is. We just proved to you that Game Pass isn't the value you profess it to be. First party title. What do you mean, though? You're not proving anything to me. I'm in the category, Farmer, that Game Pass is not about the first party titles. It's about an assortment of games on a platform, and they want you on the streaming service. That's it. Right? Jason said there's no first-party titles, the AAA games. The requirement was first-party title. There are no first-party title game, AAA games, first-party for Xbox on Game Pass that are good. And we said Forza. We got that one. Okay? But there are AAA games on Game Pass. Doesn't matter if they're first-party or not. Okay? That are on Game Pass that they paid for to put on there for an assortment of time. If they're buying Activision, then they'll put them on later. Whatever it is, there are games that people are interested to play on Game Pass for the $10, for the $15, or the $16. You're not proving anything to me. My proof to you is that Xbox doesn't give a shit if Starfield sells 30 million copies. They want Game Pass to have 80 million members. And that's just one outlet of what Microsoft is doing. Because they also have the mobile market. They also have the PC market. Right now, I wish someone could major pain me and get my mind off the pain in my back. Best thing for your back, Travis, is walk. I know it sounds ridiculous. But the best way to get rid of your back pain is to walk. I have lower back pains ever since I was 18. I pop 4 vertebrae working in an amusement park trying to save someone from a virtual coaster, you know, the big thing that like spins around. the attendant forgot to shut off the hydraulics, and we were trying to lift it, and it was pushing back at us, and I popped 4 vertebrae in my back, collapsed instantly. Well, if you walk back and forth in your house, down a hallway, whatever. So ever since I was 18, I've had back problems. There was a tweet. Let me see if I can find the tweet. Right. This is a perfect. It was yesterday. I gotta see if I can find it. I didn't comment on it or anything like that. See, I again, I'm. Everyone thinks I'm an Xbox guy. We don't even talk about Xbox because I have an Xbox, but I talk about gaming industry, like what they do for the industry. We talk facts by numbers and what they're trying to do. I was the one person that I know of that had been talking about Game Pass for over 5 years, okay, before the new consoles even came out, and I said what Microsoft's game plan was, okay? I even said before they bought Activision that Microsoft will probably buy EA or Activision, and people thought I was crazy. All right, so let me find this picture, which totally sums up everything that everyone thinks that consoles are like the only thing that's going on. It's like console versus console, and I said that they're not playing that same game anymore. And someone made a perfect post. If it wasn't for the online restriction, I wouldn't pay for the Game Pass. It's not really a great value if Microsoft fails again with Starfield. I think you're going to see a lot of people bail on Game Pass. Sure. I think for every person that bails on Game Pass, this is the same scenario, Farmer. If you're talking about gamers, right, the hardcore gamers that are looking to, that I'm leaving the green team for the purple team or the blue team, whatever, then they'll go. And that box of tissues that's there, those go, right? And then there's a brand new tissue waiting there. And when that box is done, let's just say that's the hardcore gamers that all just left. They'll just slide that over and they'll grab a brand new box. And this whole box is filled of brand new people that'll get Game Pass for one reason or another. If it's for Starfield, if it's for Activision games, if it's for maybe mobile games they put on, maybe it comes with their television set, maybe because they got a provider and it gets free Game Pass, whatever. They will find a way to make that money from there. And if that money never comes, and let's just say they keep the 20 million, okay? They keep 20 million. We read the article last week that they make 400 million because of people that are playing on PC. Now, here's the beautiful thing. The people on the PC didn't buy a console. They didn't buy a console. They have their PC. They're playing their Steam. They're playing Epic. They're playing all the stuff. And now they pay for Game Pass. And if it's just for Game Pass for that 1 month to play Starfield, that's what it'll be. Right? There's 15 million people that didn't buy an Xbox. Do you go to here? Let's use a sports analogy. I don't know where you live, right? I live in a state that's fair weather fans. Okay. The Marlins can't sell out a stadium. They even built a smaller stadium, and they still can't sell out the stadium. Okay. Tampa Bay won World Series, been to the World Series, been in contention for years, right? People don't buy season tickets. Yet the stadium and the team is still there. How is that possible? How is it possible that a sports team that makes no sellouts, they don't have that good of a crowd to sell the stadium out every single time, and yet those teams still survive? Right? Because there's always new people coming in. There's always people going in to buy one ticket for that game or buying concession stands. Right. Those ballparks are dead. Half the people are visiting teams. The only time you see a Tampa Bay game or a Marlins game packed, I don't know where you live, Kylo, right, is when the Yankees come into town or the Mets come into town or any Northeast team, Philadelphia Phillies, right? You'll see Tampa Bay or Marlins Stadium packed. Right? How do they stay? How do they stay in business? Right? Come on, where's this post that I'm looking for? The post just shows basically everything across the board that Microsoft now owns in that space, and PlayStation owns as well in the mobile space and whatnot, right? But they showed like what they're doing, and the point of it is they're not relying just on console sales. They're not just relying on Game Pass sales. They're not just relying on mobile sales. They're not just relying on PC numbers, right? They have all these numbers across the board. Was it yesterday? It was an hour. Let me see what you said. Because Star Wars and Marvel are bad, people are dumping D plus. Infinity was bad. If Starfield is bad, people will dump Game Pass. Sure. One, you're talking about, again, streaming services alone are not going to make bank for the companies, Farmer. Hence why they're putting their motions towards mobile and PC gaming. It's not about just the one. It's not just about console, right? How did Xbox make it this far when they're always out, beat 2-1 or 3-1 or 4-1, right? They're making plenty of money. For every one person that leaves that's a upset fan of Star Wars, there's other people that are coming to watch Star Wars. Are they making as much money? No, but there's still fans there. They've made so much money in the past, they can weather the storm. Their own words, Phil Spencer's own words is, we're okay. We're not changing our plan for consoles, right? They don't care about selling consoles. They don't care. I mean, I don't want to say they don't care. They're not relying. They don't care so much for that one thing. Sure, they want 50 million people. They want 100 million people on Game Pass. They'll get there in the long game because of the moves that they're making now. You could use Destiny as an example, too. The hardcore leaving the game drove, but casuals audience just keeps growing. That's a perfect example, Makoki, right? I left 3 years ago in Destiny. Yet Destiny gained like 5 other people, right? In place of me, they gained like 5 other people. And I wasn't buying microtransactions. So if they got 2 people to replace me and one of those people buys a microtransaction, that's a win for them, right? That's because Philly fans travel? No, in Florida, boss, the Northeasterns all are down here, right? They lived here. They retire here. So there's fans in the ballparks that they'll wear a Tampa hat. They'll wear a Marlins hat. But when their team comes into town, they swap out their Phillies uniform or their Marlins uniform or their Tampa Bay uniform for the Phillies uniform. There are fair weather fans left and right. We're getting more fans here in Florida, but majority of them are fair weather fans. I'm a Mets fan. I'll root for the Marlins when I see them or Tampa when I go to a game if they're going against anybody but the Mets. If they go against the Mets, I root for the Mets because that's my team. But I can't watch the Mets games all the time. Has nothing to do with consoles. Bad content kills. Streaming services, bad games will kill Game Pass. I don't think Game Pass will die. I do believe that the gaming industry, and I'm on record saying this, Farmer, I don't like Game Pass because it ruins gaming. It ruins the industry. It's done it for all the other places that they've done streaming services for music, right? People look at music and go, oh, it did better for the music. No, it wrecked the music industry, right? It wrecked the music industry. You don't own anything now. Sure, if you're the artist, you could put stuff on Spotify and start making money. You don't have to go through the chains anymore. But music has changed forever. Okay. There's only these small few are making lots of money now. If you're super popular, right? Lots of one hit wonders and stuff now. Okay. The streaming service ruined movies. The streaming service killed the theaters. Okay. The streaming service killed the theaters. Theaters didn't kill theaters. Streaming service killed the theaters. Don't you find it funny that all companies had a streaming service ready to go during COVID? Kind of weird, isn't it? Gaming's the same way. The streaming services will kill gaming. But it's the future. No handbrakes now, right? Because now digital is here to stay, right? You might get the limited run games that they have that you could buy a hard copy for certain games, but we're in digital world now, right? You own nothing. There's not gonna be a console in the future. I mean, it's already here. You get to play. You have to buy it on the television set. Play on the PC. Here it is. Found it. Right. This is the post, right? The guy on the post, he says this, right? This is what he says. Hold on. Says, how many players do you think Starfield will have at launch is successful? My prediction, launch 10 to 20 million, lifetime 50 million. He also says, show this to people that are looking for, this is what Xbox is doing, right? And PlayStation is doing some of these things as well, right? But they don't care about the one number. They're dabbling into all these different resources, right? So the console has 21 million units sold. Okay, great. They're literally half of what PlayStation has right now. Okay, then you got the 3.5 million people handheld consoles that can play Starfield there as well. Then you have people, 25 to 30 million people can play Starfield on Game Pass. Not to say that everyone will, right? Then you have cloud mobile streaming capable devices, right? You can stream it to your device of 1 billion devices for Starfield. So if you buy it on the other things, you can play it on your thing on the go or whatever, right? And then you have 135 million PC users that could potentially get it as well. Okay. So sure, you can say that Starfield could be unsuccessful, but at the same time, over time, if the game comes out, it's just whatever, but then it gets better over time, it's going to have a player base. They're still going to get numbers from these things. If it's for 1 month, or if it's they bought the game and that's it, they have their money. PlayStation 5 sold is way more money than 25 million subs. That's a one-time fee though, boss. That's a one-time fee. These guys are getting paid. This is why they have PlayStation Plus. They're making more money from PlayStation Plus than they are from making PlayStation sales. You understand that, right? You understand that, right? If that was true, boss, then they wouldn't have the streaming service for PlayStation. You think most consoles lose money? Even if they make a profit, what do you think the profit is for each PlayStation sold? But sub money count as a console? You could have to make multiple years. No, because they don't. Do you think that every time they sell a $500 console, they're making $500? Is that what you think? Do you think that PlayStation makes $500 profit every time they sell a console? I bet you Microsoft makes more money off the Series S per system sold than PlayStation does off the PlayStation 5. Companies don't make money off the consoles. They make money off the software. Hence why they charge $70 on the software. Hence why they make peripherals to sell you on the console. Hence why they're making the VR systems. Hence why they're making the handheld systems. Hence why they're making the controllers. Hence why they're making the controllers where they can break more. They put more stuff into it so they can break, so that people can buy more controllers and more headsets and more. This is why there's peripherals. Because those are less money to make than a console, and yet they can keep selling those things. This is why there's this is why Nintendo wins, because Nintendo makes smaller things and their Joy-Cons drift and they sell more and more and they're cheaper because they sell more of them. And most of their games are 4 players. Hence why they give you 4. They make you go out and buy 4 controllers. You think that because PlayStation thinks they make $500 per sale? Come on, man. I guarantee you PlayStation's making more money off PlayStation Plus than they are console sales. Tenfold. Right, and Nintendo's never on sale. Yeah, because they don't go out shooting from the start, Reese. They're like, yeah, let's keep it low. We'll do a 30 frames per second console game. It's like a decade old, and we'll still make $300 off it. I guarantee you, like Nintendo's probably making like 150, where like PlayStation and Xbox are making like $20, $25. Because the second Nintendo jumps into the arena, they go on life support. What do you mean? Nintendo is literally the most successful company. Every game that they come out with sells 20 to 30. They have the most games that sell over 50 million units, 30 million units apiece. PlayStation has already put Nintendo on critical state before. You are so naive to what you think. Like, you really think that the console is like king, huh? They could literally sell a Mario game tomorrow and make 20 million copies, which is so much more than anything PlayStation can make. Or Xbox. Nintendo is king of software. You're losing brain cells with me, Pixel? Games is what sell. Hence why the software, why they always, like, I'm so confused right now. You think Sony makes all the money from just their console? No, they sell the games, man. We literally just showed a stat yesterday. Here, I'll even show you. We showed this yesterday, for God's sakes. They don't even come close to this. Where is it? Come on. This stat, 55.46 million units of Mario Kart 8. Name one first-party title game from PlayStation that's selling 55 million units. And that's just one game. That's not including the people that play a subscription model also for the new tracks and stuff. Okay. Animal Crossing, 42 million units. Super Smash Brothers, 31.7. Zelda, that just came out, what, like a month and a half ago, has already surpassed everything that, like, one first-party title game has sold for PlayStation. Like, your hatred for Xbox is clouding your judgment for the actual world of video games. Nintendo is king. This is why we always make the joke of crazy Uncle Nintendo can do whatever they want, because every game that comes out sells more than 15 million units. Yeah, it's a joke, Travis, but that's what it is. Right? You're born, they hand you a Nintendo because they're so popular. Their games sell ridiculous. Ridiculous. They sell the amount of games that Nintendo sells in a day or a week outperforms most PlayStation and Xbox first-party title games in their lifetime. There's 127 million units of a Switch out there, and 55.6 million of them, which is a fantastic percentage, has and owns Mario Kart 8. That's first-party title game, only can be played on the Switch. It's like a 36, 40%, like what? Exactly, Reese. Yeah. Nintendo sits back in the Bahamas drinking their the pina coladas, while Xbox and PlayStation fans are going, who's better? Let's be honest, Nintendo is a family system. My cousin owns it. His daughter plays it. Zelda, he plays Dragons, Dogma. Everyone can enjoy. This is why I said that my analogy stands, Travis. You're handed a Nintendo at birth, and you turn it in when you die. Okay, it's a system that everyone from the ages of like 3 to 99 can play. Games they make and the systems they do is just untouched by anybody else. What if Boss wants to die on that hill that PlayStation's better because they have more PlayStations out than Xbox? I mean, that's okay. You could live underneath a rock. What is let's see if I can find it. Here you go. This should be first party title PlayStation games. Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo 5 has 11 million copies. Okay, that's one game. Okay, Elden Ring, that's not a first party title, so that's eliminated. Okay, Marvel Spider-Man, 13.2. Okay, for one game. What's this one? 13's missing. I don't know where 13 is. Gran Turismo 3, A-Spec, 14. So that's what, 2 Gran Turismo games? Uncharted, 16 mil. Love Uncharted. Okay. Last of Us, 19 mil. Now, I don't know if that's the combined total of the original plus the remake plus the PC, whatever. Nintendo's just on Nintendo. Okay. God of War 2018. Now you got 19.5. That's great. Okay. Horizon, you got 20 mil. Okay. FIFA, not a first party title. Call of Duty, not a first party title. San Andreas, not a first party title. Actually, was it a first party title? That it was exclusive then, right? So we'll give it to them. We'll give PlayStation the 27.5. Okay. Red Dead Redemption wasn't a first party title. PlayerUnknown Battleground, not a first party title. Number 2, Grand Theft Auto 5, not a first party title. And Minecraft, not a first party title. Okay. And these are copies sold. This is not even just for PlayStation, by the way. I don't think, right? Because that's the total sales of Red Dead Redemption, not on that. So the first party title games we can go with like 20 million. So Horizon Zero Dawn is the most highest ranked game that they have. Where does that fall on that? Where does that fall on that list? 20 million. That falls into between 7 and 8 of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and Super Mario Party. So that's the best one. Their best first party title is 8th best on a Nintendo list. And then it just pulls away, right? It just pulls away. I don't talk shit. I bring up facts. But we're not talking about, it doesn't matter where Xbox titles are, boss. I'm not defending Xbox. The conversation was Nintendo. You brought up PlayStation sells better than Nintendo. I'm proving to you that Nintendo blows away PlayStation. And because PlayStation beats Xbox, there's no reason to compare the 3rd place team over the 2nd place team who has better sales in gaming than the number 1 person that you think sells more than Nintendo, right? There's no point for me to defend Xbox because that's not part of the conversation. The conversation was Nintendo and you saying that PlayStation showed them and almost put them out of business. And I proving to you you're an absolute moron for saying that because Nintendo has the most highest game sales ever. Every single system, every single time they release a Mario game, every time they release a Mario Kart, it blows everything else out of the water for their system every time they have a new system. But if you want to keep drinking the Kool-Aid of that PlayStation's shit doesn't stink and it's never, ever going to lose to anything, by all means, continue doing it. The reason I have my analogies of Crazy Uncle Nintendo is because it does exactly what it does. You keep forgetting I am not a Microsoft fanboy. I am not a PlayStation fanboy. I am not a Nintendo fanboy. I am a gamer. I will prove facts to you by bringing up actual facts and numbers. Numbers don't lie. The little what did Xbox do? Like, Timmy did it. That's what you just did. 2 kids are fighting in the back. Well, he did it first. Like, what the fuck? So it says, I mean, until you get to free to play games and kids are like, Dirk, let's spend all mommy and daddy's money to Fortnite. Those are still not first party title games. There's plenty of free to play games that go up. I mean, PUBG, 70 million units and stuff. No, but Boss will always bring up because I don't own a PlayStation 5, I'm a hater. That's his thing. Because I don't own a PlayStation 5, I am an Xbox lover and a PlayStation hater. Yeah, free-to-play profits are effing stupid these days. Yeah, they're ridiculous on the amount of money they make. And we proved it yesterday. I don't know if you were here yesterday watching, but we showed what Call of Duty Mobile makes, right? Like how many players play Call of Duty Mobile, which now Activision owns, or I'm sorry, which now Microsoft owns. And it's 57 million users daily. Daily. 57 million people play mobile Call of Duty daily on a cell phone. I think it was like 57.2 million people daily play Call of Duty Mobile, right? Additional 21 million people, okay, played Immortals, but it has 768,000 people daily play Diablo Immortal on a mobile device or PC, whatever, because they do the emulation, okay? And that's just off of that game. Right? Now Microsoft owns both those brands. And then we load up Candy Crush. And Candy Crush per day is 275,000 a day. Daily play that game. No, that's wrong. That's 250 million. Let me hold on a second. Candy Crush, I think it was 250 million. Candy Crush players. Yeah. Candy Crush reportedly has over 255 million users. I don't know, players daily? Let me see. More than 9 million people play Candy Crush for over 3 hours daily. So ridiculous. 9 million people play Candy Crush for over 3 hours daily. We read about that, Travis, yesterday. There's a way right now, and I read it, right? Because I have no sides. I said, if you're an Xbox person and you want to trade in your Xbox, GameStop is doing a thing right now where basically you can get like a $380 credit of your Xbox Series X. It's a little less for the Xbox Series S, and you can trade in your Xbox right now so you can get a PlayStation 5, right? They're helping you get it, right? Because they want to get that old stock of PlayStation 5s out of their system. Why? Because the PlayStation 5 Slim/Pro or whatever they're coming in next year is going to be coming in. So GameStop before the holidays is like, well, we want to get rid of this inventory as much as we can. So let's take the Xboxes because no one's really buying those right now. So we'll buy those up, and then we'll toss out the PlayStation 5s because the new PlayStation 5s are coming. I never owned a Nintendo. Does that mean I hate them? If you like Mario, Pokemon, whatever, Donkey Kong. The only reason I bought, this is the way I sold it to my wife, Salty. We bought one like 3 years ago, right? So it's like 7 years now. Well, he was 4 or 5. Yeah, he'll be 9. Yeah, so he was like 5. So it's like 4 years ago. I said, because I wanted Marvel's Ultimate Alliance, right? I wanted the new Ultimate Alliance, but I couldn't justify buying a Nintendo for me, right? But then I was like, well, our son's getting older and he's going to start wanting games. I was like, a Nintendo's a good game and we can monitor and stuff like that. So that's what I sold it on. I sold my wife a Nintendo Switch on a Nintendo Switch, right? So I could play Ultimate Alliance, okay? And then my son could play Mario games and whatnot. And he absolutely loves the Switch. That's his favorite system. He plays the Series S, but he absolutely loves the Nintendo Switch. We have like 15 or 20 games, and those are full price games. Those are not on sale games because Nintendo doesn't go on sale. I'm curious of what games like Star Wars Galaxy or Heroes Marvel Strike Force does. Strike Force I think does pretty well because that's I think Strike Force is one of the biggest games. It's called Strike Force, right? Marvel Strike Force player count. Let's see. As of March 20th of 2022, this is from Reddit. It says the ARPU is roughly 140 million annually. That's dollars. Industry number be higher or lower. I don't know what that is. Marvel Strike Force player count stats and facts. This is January 30th of 2023. There's 13.17 million installs. Total revenue for Marvel Strike Force. Total revenue is 150 million. I don't know how accurate that is. But that's of January. Am I serious? Are you saying if I'm serious? Yeah, that's how I sold it to my wife. I wanted to buy, right? I'm not frivolous with my money, right? We live within our means, right? We make good money, but we live within our means. I don't have a big fancy house. I don't drive a big fancy car. I don't have a lot of fancy things. We buy things when we need them. And because my son didn't have a video game system, and I'm a gamer, I want my son to be a gamer. I was like, hey, let's get him a Nintendo Switch, right? And it was literally like last second during Christmas. It was on Black Friday. I bought it from Kohl's. Okay, went to Kohl's to buy it. It was like the day before Black Friday. I was like, they're having a sale for the Nintendo Switch. They have them in stock. I can't even afford a logo. I hate wearing logos. We have that Marvel shirt. We wear logo every once in a while. Most of my shirts are just plain. I don't want like a Nike swoosh or anything like that. Like the only things you'll find on my chest is things I'm like a fan of. Oh yeah. GameStop's taking a. We read the article yesterday. We read the article yesterday on the. Let me see if I can get the actual. Where was that? Yeah, here it is. Xbox Series S owners can effectively grab a free PlayStation 5 right now. PlayStation 5. Let's see. Upcoming Starfield. Being said that surely Xbox fans who stuck with the Xbox. That's not it. Here it is. Says Reddit Meteor Boy conveniently shared a news as well as the math and how easy to switch consoles provide you're a GameStop Pro member. So right now at GameStop US only is running a promotion where Pro members get a bonus of $50 when trading in a certain console like the Series X. The current trade value for the Series X is in good condition is $385. So with the bonus of $50, with the bonus, you're up to $435. A brand new PlayStation 5 is currently at $450. You're paying $15 out of pocket. So that's the way it works. See that? If you have a series or if you have an Xbox One S, they're giving $138 bonus included, and then the Xbox Series S they're giving $242.50. That's bonus included. See? It's the same value for a PlayStation 5, by the way. If you have... What do you mean, Reese? Same for the PlayStation 5. You're saying if you have a PlayStation 5 trading in for a PlayStation 5? I'm confused. Oh, is this where I'm supposed to be like... Is this where I'm supposed to be? Reese, don't go. Oh, stay with us at Xbox. Please. Like, what? what? Don't go. Yeah. No. Information's information. I want people to be happy what they have. Or it's not Reese. It's Farmer. Sorry. Farmer, don't go. No, you have to stay with Xbox. We have Game Pass and other things. Stay with us. Give a shit what people play. Play what you want. I'm giving information because I know people want to jump ship. This is the perfect time to jump ship. Don't worry, you can always trade in your PlayStation 5 later for the Xbox down the road. But you don't even need an Xbox. So it's actually a better choice. If you have a PC right now or a Samsung television, trade in your Xbox. Okay, trade in your Xbox. Play PlayStation 5, and you can always pay $10 for Game Pass later. There you go. Public service announcement. Or I could have done this. It's a trap. Don't do it. GameStop's trying to get your information. Oh, I didn't play it. You guys couldn't hear it. Hold on a second. I gotta...
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Joke ruined. Joke ruined. And then I played this.
It's a trap.
You know, good and well, Nintendo is like at all of the little zombies who buy everything we put out. Oh, for sure. Travis, every time a game he sees, my son watches YouTube Kids, and they show like he watches like people that play games or whatnot. He's like, "Did you know this is coming out? When does this come out?" Like he wanted the Hot Wheels thing. I'm like, "What?" I was like, "Let me see if I can get you that." And then it was on Game Pass. Saves me a fortune, right? Because if I get it for him on Switch, I got to pay full price, right? He wants to get that new Illuminate illustration. What is it called? The Disney side scroller. Illusion Island. Then there's a Sonic game, right? There's a Sonic game that he wants. Trying to think of another. Like, there's so many games he wants for the Switch. I can't get them all. Well, Mr. Frugal, I don't have PC either. I'm not frugal. I'm just responsible with my money. Like, I don't need a PlayStation 5 right now. What do I need a PlayStation 5 for? Nothing. I don't need it right now. Spider-Man comes out in October. In October, maybe I'll pick up one. Or I'll wait till PlayStation 5 Pro comes out and then get the better system so it'll last longer, right? And then I can buy PlayStation 5 Pro and then Spider-Man probably for the same price that someone paid for PlayStation, right? Or I wait even longer and then play Spider-Man 2 on PC. All right. It's 12:30. Love the conversation. Appreciate you guys coming out, hanging out with us. Make sure you hit that like button down below. It does help us out. I know it's the minute thing to do. All you have to do is hit that like button. It helps the video go out to other people. If you like something that someone else likes, right? So if you hit the like button, someone goes, oh, Travis watches this. And he also watched this. So then they'll go, we'll push that out to other people that watch the same type of content and whatnot, right? So that's what the like button does. It helps the content creators over on YouTube get spread out to other people so other people can come watch the content. If you like it more than that, hit the subscribe button so you know we're back every single Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern time. And then we also do night streams Monday through Wednesday. Tonight we're playing Division 2 with Sarge. We're finishing out the season, I think, tonight for Division 2. The loop that happened, the new hostage that we have to save is out. So we're going to play that tonight with Sarge. It was a good time. We call it shooting the shit while shooting the shit. So we're playing some Division 2 tonight. Tomorrow night, we have the podcast Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. You can join me and Sarge as we banter back and forth, and we with you guys also in chat. I appreciate every single thing you guys do. If it's hit that like button, subscribe, or become a member for as little as $5. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.